There's casualties in any war and any change, right? That's the truth. So how I see it is we're in what's called the fourth industrial revolution, right? So so basically what's going to happen, that the casualties in this are the inefficiencies in any system, right? Now, it's sad to look at it like a casualty of war or something similar, but the reality is people will lose jobs because of efficiency, but no more so from blockchain than what AI can do by any means. So it actually is a really, really good topic. This in itself can be an hour long, right? And the thing about it is change is inevitable, and the only constant that we all live amongst is a constant changing world. And what happens with change, it's a progression of human nature to always be moving forward, finding efficiencies, improving systems, building a better mousetrap, so to speak. So where we are right now is blockchain is a better mousetrap for a lot of application, not for everything. What it requires, though, in order to be done properly, is it requires a number of skilled people to make it happen. So where you might lose jobs on one end, which are potentially the inefficiencies in any sort of system, the middle people, the people who have been exploiting the system for far too long in a lot of cases, like the banking sector and whatnot, what you're really doing is you're replacing it with a more efficient model. Now, that will come at a major cost. And an example is the ASX, the Australian Stock Exchange. They put their hand up and said, we're going to be the first major exchange to transition to blockchain. Now, the way I see this is ASX delayed it for 2 years, and they haven't got a solution. What they're trying to do, though, is their approach, I believe, is they're trying to save the jobs that exist in the financial services sector that would be affected. Because if you take out what's known as the CHESS system, it's the settlement system that the stock exchange works on right now, there is tremendous job loss casualty in that. There's probably going to be, 10 to 15,000 people that would be affected by that, by putting ASX onto the blockchain, if it was done properly, if you were to maximize the efficiency of that system, right? Because you're going to cut out a lot of brokers and pencil pushers and administrative workers in that sector. The reality is the way that they're approaching is they want to integrate the legacy system, which is 30 odd years old, with blockchain. But actually blockchain just simply replaces it. So you're trying to marry something that's 30 years old and not efficient with something that's brand new and works perfectly, right? And the issue is they're not supposed to get married. One replaces or supersedes the other. So they can't effectively both exist and have the benefits of blockchain, right? So across the whole board, there's going to be tremendous change, right? And as I said before, I think there's going to be more disruption to job markets around AI and things like that. And this is where there's people talking all the time about having universal income. I don't know if you've heard about it. So the universal income theory is when you displace a large percentage of the workforce. You don't have enough workforce paying tax to support everyone who can't find or doesn't have the skills to get a job. So there's a whole lot of smart people, way smarter than us, who are working on a concept of providing a universal income, which is an income for doing nothing. Just for being a person, you get a certain amount of money, which is enough to live off. Right now, I see a major upside opportunity in all this displacement. Most people will see the horror and the fallout and, oh my God, I'm going to lose my house, or the short-term pain. Reality is this is happening, it will happen, and it is happening right now. Like Google has Google Legal, where the AI bots and things can create legal document which is more accurate than any lawyer can do, and it's so efficient and it's so much cheaper. So you got whole professions of legals that will get wiped out eventually because AI can do a better job, right? So all these people getting displaced, it's short term is a tragedy, it's fallout, it's carnage. It will leave some people totally destitute. But there's also the major opportunity in that is when you know change is coming, you can prepare for it. Right? And if you prepare for change knowing it's coming, and you say, am I going to be a casualty of this? How could I prepare myself? So you can educate yourself on things on the future as opposed to the past, right? Don't look at the legacy system, just assume it's broken, because let's face it, the banking system and the finance system currently existing is broken, and it's showing major stress cracks, and every fiat money system ever in history, over 2,000 systems, financial systems have failed up to date. The US dollar is on its way, so is every other fiat currency, which is every government issued currency. It's all coming, and that will cause its own catastrophes outside of AI, blockchain, and the likes. Right? There's also the opportunity in the emerging technologies where jobs that don't even exist today will become major employment sources, right? But if the universal income side of thing kicked in, let's say no one ever had an opportunity to get another job because robots can do it all and blockchain takes their jobs too. And the combination of blockchain, robotics, and now no one's working, or very few people. So the value that a human has over anything that a system or a computer can do is the creativity and passion and connection aspects. So it sounds utopian, actually. But if you looked holistically on this, you could say, now you're freeing up human resource, not for robotic work, repetition and boring activities, but you're now freeing the human minds collectively for passion, connection, creativity, right? All the things that are lacking currently in value from a commercial sense currently. But then if people had time, and now they can pursue things that they're interested in, what's going to come of that creativity? Because if you didn't have to work for money at all, and you got enough money coming in, and you know it's regular, and you can sustain your well-being, have a healthy standard of living just on the universal income, from that point, what are you going to do with yourself? Now, a lot of people are going to go surfing every day. They're going to be bums for a while. But that gets boring. Mm-hmm. It actually gets boring. Or they might have ambitions and they think, well, I want to go and see the world. Well, maybe you can't afford to travel the world on the basic income. You might have enough to feed your family, pay your bills, but you may not have enough to go and travel the world, do all the other things. Right? So people with ambition will always have ambition. They'll always chase dreams and goals. They'll want to look to add more value. Now, if you're adding more value and you're adding it in a way that the market values, you're going to get paid for it. You're going to have opportunity. Right? So it's not about communism in the sense of everyone should share the same amount of here's your income, but it's about putting a safety net underneath the community so that people can go and follow their passions, dreams and goals, because the robots do the robotic work. At the end of the day, there's a lot of jobs which, when you look at them, people are not particularly great at, or they're doing it because they just want to make a living. I think there's just as much upside opportunity and in the fallout side of it, like the jobs going and the disintermediation and the opportunity of that is huge, but it's unrealised and it won't be realised for a while, and we don't know what other upside benefit there is, because every disaster creates more upside opportunity as long as people approach it in the right way. There's always the fallout, the casualties, the recovery time and whatnot. But take out the short-term lag, which might be pain for a year or 2 or 5. But once people get beyond the pain and they get into the actual, the getting their shit sorted and getting back on track, so much upside, so much opportunity. And what that looks like, we don't know yet. But I can't see it to be that negative. I see it to be opportunity, right? So that's how I see the effect of the fallout. I see it as opportunity.